The Baskerville clan before in their world is referred as the Berserker family, and the children from the family are put through a thorough early education, and when the kids can take their first step, they have to run up a steep mountain for their basic stamina training, and except for the allocated times they aren't allowed to lie down or be on their stomachs. When it's time to sleep, in order for them to adjust to tough environments, they sleep alongside a monster corpse or a baby demonic creature. Once that period ends and they are 8 years old, the young hounds will start their deadly evaluation assessment with gruesome difficulties. This is what caused the Baskerville family to be called the Berserker family. The practical evaluation is a survival examination, and that day in a mountain that is located on the outskirts of the territory filled with monsters the young hounds gather there. It's the Le Rouge at Le Noir mountain. Their instructor called Shadow Dog Pavlov Van Baskerville welcomes them, and he tells them the basic content of their physical evaluation is simple. He tells them they need to survive on the mountain for a month and they will need to hunt large and strong monsters. He claims they have to be mindful of the two conditions, and they should also survive. The point for being successful at saving someone's life is 10 points, and if any of them survive and saving someone without becoming heavily injured, they will be awarded 30 points, and if any of them fails other young masters and survives, he will get 50 points, and if anyone survives after defeating a monster, then the point increases to 70 points. He tells them that if any one of them meets all the conditions that he has mentioned, then the person will get 90 points additionally. If any one of them steals the badge that is given to them all from someone else, then bonus points will be given to the person. If a person dies, he gets 0 points and there are no 100 points. On ending his speech, he asks them to remember Sir Hugo's teaching that a swordsman dies the moment they become arrogant and not to let their guard down. He tells them he doesn't advise them to exit the areas they have been designated to because the area is near to the Le Rouge at Le Noir forest and it's quite dangerous with unknown monsters. He narrates further that the Le Rouge at Le Noir mountain is a restricted area with many undiscovered things. It is recommended that they move within the space they have been given, which is where the monsters have been subjugated. He informs them that in the course of the examination, the shadow dogs who are the guardian knights will be hiding and grading them. As they all assemble, it seems like all the kids know Vicar is the boy who had stayed in the river for 7 minutes. They even talk about the rumor that he killed 2 poisonous snakes inside the cradle as a kid. Another kid says that he also heard that Vicar had received full marks during their theory examination, so they are all anxious to know if he is also good at the practical examination. Looking at the mountain from afar off, Victor misses it and says it's been a while since he had gotten there. He sees the Burrow triplets too at the mountain, and their instructor announces that the examination will start at the sound of the bell, and he prays that they receive good fortune, and he dingles the bell to indicate the start of the examination. Just as the bell rings, Vicar feels the need to hurry up and occupy an advantageous area. He decides to go to the place he saw in the last examination. He witnessed as he runs. Some boys follow him and they claim that there is no way a person can survive alone. So, they decide to follow him and take what he gets. The Burrow brothers have a problem with unity. They fight against each other because they don't want anyone to order the other. So eventually they decide to have their tests separately. As they all run, Pavlov looks at them and wishes them well. He says that in that examination it is not encouraged that they kill each other, but it is not prohibited. It is just discouraged, so if any of them kills another, his point will be deducted. So, everyone tries their best in order not to kill another person easily. Also, the shadow dogs will also do their best, in order to keep the casualty at the minimum level. Vicar arrives at his safe spot. It's a place that is nearer to the restricted area. So, when the boys following him see where he is, they wonder if he is in his right senses for wanting to go there. The shadow dog following him also wonders where he is going. Pavlov sees him and recognizes him as a genius who has distinguished himself from childhood. So, he is looking forward to the skills he will show them. Vicar walks around to find the place he has his mind, and when he touches the ground, he sees that it is soft. So, he says he is fine with the ground being soft and says that since he has the sides, that's where he will be living for the time being, and he needs to relax and take a break. The knight overhears that and wonders what he is doing while the other students are trying to survive by killing monsters. Vicar removes his clothes and he brings out firewood. Vicar sleeps that night. For several days the night keeps watching him. He gets exhausted thinking about how long it has been since Vicar has rested while digging a hole. He says that besides resting and digging holes, the only thing Vicar does is hunt for food or gather equipment. He wonders if Vicar is planning on hiding there forever. He wonders if the rumor about Vicar being a genius is fake. He eventually decides that, if Vicar is just going to hide, then there is no reason for him to keep observing. He leaves and Vicar notices he is gone. He enjoys camping outside. Because, it reminds him of the old days. He remembers his old life and how his subordinate had told him that cacao beans are used to make fish smell less fishy and bloody beans that have a high concentration of cacao are the best ones. He throws some of the beans into the fire. Now that the person interfering in his program has gone and he has also finished everything he needed to prepare for the coming days, he decides to start his hunt. A few days later he looks at the restricted area. He goes nearer to it and says that from that place onwards is the restricted area, but during his times as a soldier he was going around there casually. He remembers the burning smell that pierces his nose there on the burnt tree roots and he is sure the habitat of his target is around there. He walks further and he sees the burning stool. He knows that there is only one monster around there, that has that kind of dropping. He thought things like that were annoying, during his days as a soldier. But, seeing it like that in his present stage, he is actually quite happy. He eventually sees the hellhound and the hellhound notices him too. The hellhound is a monster of about 3 meters in size and his risk rating is B+. His state of discovery is at the second ridge of the Le Rogue at Le Noir Mountain. It is a dog from hell and a monster that brings horrific disasters to those who encounter it. Also, once the monster beats you, you can't survive the flames that come out of the monster's mouth and eyes that are extremely gaseous and they trigger sparks and cannot be extinguished until the life designated as its fuel is completely destroyed by burning.